This is the glass bed, and it prints way better because I even printed the Maker Faire robot, and it came out sweet. It came out perfect. Most of my prints now are coming out perfect, and it's my bed. I have my bed set for 85 now. The magnet, I still have the magnet sticky on there, so I don't know, maybe some people take it off, but I just put the glass over it, bottom part of the magnet, and I heat my bed up, and this fan is always running. I had problems when this fan stopped running and I had to fix it. I had to replace the front fan, but this fan is always supposed to be running. It's not supposed to not be running. This one turns on and off, but it's supposed to be running too. And I have this fan running at all times. But when it stopped running, it was getting jammed right here. It was not going through. It was getting stuck. And what was happening is when the extruder gets hot, it melts the PLA all the way up to here. And then what it'll do is it'll get stuck in the coupling. And instead of it going through, because it's not supposed to melt until it gets to the very bottom. And this fan keeps it from the PLA melting all the way up to here. Now it'll only melt when it gets down to the end, which is what it's supposed to do. And it's supposed to get really hot, because the hotter that your PLA is, the smoother your print's gonna be. And you don't want it to melt all the way up here, because then it won't go through. It'll jam up at the coupling, and this thing will slip. And what it'll do is it'll go, and then it'll come back. You'll see it slipping, and it'll just grind on that PLA, and it won't even go through it. So I replaced the fan, and you want the fan to keep the extruder cool, but you want the filament at the end to come out really hot so that your print comes out smooth. You want your print to come out smooth. See, mine's smooth. So that's how I figured. That's how I've been doing all my prints now. So, oh, and another thing, never use this on a glass bed. You'll scratch this surface thing, because it has like this, the glass is borsulated. It's like a carbon silicone base. You don't want to try to force like after you print something on this, I've seen guys take these spatulas and like to get their prints up. You don't want to do that on this. This is tempered glass, and it's got a borsulating coat on it. And what you want to do is you just want to wait till it totally cools, and whatever you have on here will just pop off. If you try to force it, you'll mess up the borsolate. It'll come up. And so what you want to do is you just want to print, and then before you remove your print, just let it cool completely. Even if it's cold, like if it's just warm and it won't come up, don't force it. Just wait till it totally gets cold, because eventually you'll hear a pop. It'll go pop, and what it'll do is the plastic like shrinks, and it will separate from the glass. Because if there's any temperature, even if it's like 27 degrees, even if it's 27 degrees, it still will be sticking. So you gotta let it cool off completely. When it cools off completely, it won't even have a pull. It'll just come off like easy. You'll have no resistance at all. So that's all I wanted to say. And another thing is you want to keep this stuff under here, these wheels, you want to keep them clean, because it'll start feeling like it's slipping, which is what I need to do right now. I need to go get a Q-tip and kind of wipe off all that rubber. It's not supposed to do it a lot. It means it's too tight, but if it's too loose, this whole thing will move. I've had this whole bed move, so that's my knowledge on these printers. So my knowledge is I know I got to keep the extruder at 220, which means so I got to keep the PLA hot, and I got to keep this bed hot in order for whatever I'm printing to not come up during the print. And it makes for better prints if you print hot. It makes your lines, the plastic and the lines, more smoother. See how smooth it is? Okay, and to clean this, I just use rubbing alcohol. I just wipe it down with isopropyl alcohol. It's only like 70. Some people say use 90 or 100. I don't think it really matters because I just wipe the crap down out of it. And, you know, if there's like any white lines, sometimes there's still a little bit, but I wipe down anything, or I try to use my fingernail, but I don't use metal. And I just kind of rub it off. And the borsilate doesn't come up, but you don't, I know that you don't want to use a metal spatula on this. That's all I know. Because you will scratch it. Yeah, you don't want to scratch this.